And ladies and gentlemen, welcome into this installment of the NJCAAE Esports. That's a mouthful, Shake, but we've got a banger on the cards tonight, man. We got the University of South Carolina Sumter Fire Ants taking on the Glen Oaks Community College Vikings. Shake, give me a little preview of what we're looking in here tonight.
Little early season matchup. It's going to be fun to get into it. You know, not too much info on this team, except we got a big fact looming. We got a two-time sitting in the building with us tonight.
Yeah, an absolute two-time. Not only that, back-to-back, they have captured the fall and last spring's championship, the University of South Carolina Sumter Fire Ants. They're coming off of a fire 2 seasons coming into this one. They're looking to continue that dominance here as we started up again. A little bit of that Modern Warfare 2 action before we head into our next game here in about 3 or 4 months, Shake. So we've got a banger on the cards. These guys are looking to go back-to-back-to-back ships right now. We haven't seen that since the Letterkenny days, man.
Yeah, imagine that happening, running a 3-year-in-a-row cycle in this junior college circuit. Unbelievable. You know they got to be feeling good. There's a lot of confidence that comes with winning a championship, and you know they're feeling it. So it's up to Glen Oaks to really show up and be that underdog and overcome.
Yeah, and we're really looking for them to kind of push our champion, to the ropes and see what they can do. And, just a little speaking on the NJCAAE, this is our National Junior College Athletic Association Esports. They're just trying to give their students a chance to compete in something that, esports is like coming up in more. We're seeing it more in the Division I colleges, and it's great that the junior college circuit, like you said, is being able to cover this too. And Shake, let's go ahead and take this right into our map set between these two teams. Fire Ants and Vikings, man, they've got a spicy one coming up here. Hopping on board, we love to see it. Al-Bagra Fortress coming right off of our map 1.
There is nothing that we love more to start off a series than an Al-Bagra hardpoint. I'll tell you what, it's mixy, it's energetic, it's fun. It's a great way to get the night started, really get the juices flowing, and see who's shooting straight.
Yeah, and I think it's a tone setter, right? For either one of these teams to really come out and set the tone for the rest of the series. If you come out and put a great hardpoint performance here on the Fortress, you could really set yourself up for a really good series. And speaking of which, heading in, Mercado Las Almas is going to be our map 2 search and destroy. Shake, we know that one can be really mixy. We know teams kind of more favorable to hit that A side, nades and stuns, and especially trophies going to be big. El Asilo for our map 3. And if we get there, Las Almas hardpoint and El Asilo search and destroy for those map 4 and 5. Shake, can you give me a little early prediction? What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking you head to the kitchen right now, get some ice cream, whatever flavoring you need, hit it in the blender because that's what we got in this series. I'll tell you what, map after map after map, it is just mix. El Asilo control is crazy. It's not one we see too often. At least I haven't recently. I'm really excited to see how that plays out. And a map 4 Mercado hardpoint, there's nothing spicier because it's a map point at that point for one of the maps. So someone's going to be digging deep on that one. And I don't think there's a better example of search and destroy than El Asilo in this game. I think it's such a fun map to watch. It's a fun map to play. A lot of crazy things can happen. I'm excited for this series.
I mean, the last time you and I casted in El Asilo, it came down to round 10 in a game 5 between ESG and I believe Team Smog is who we got to cast tonight. An incredible matchup. And I think we're not going to see anything less here, dude. I think we're going map 5. I'm taking the Fire Ants in a 5-map barn burner, man. I'm taking them. I think they're going to win 3-2. I think when it gets to that last map, I'm thinking about 6-4. I think it's going to be the exact kind of same series that we got to see the last time we were up here.
I don't know. I think Glen Oaks might have a little bit of advantage here.
Oh, taking the underdog, huh?
They're playing for something, right? They have to prove something. USC Sumter, they're the defending champs. Not saying they're going to come in easy because they're not going to. You win back-to-back because you're ready. But hey, what a better way to start your season than going map 5, round 11, icing up for the squad and defeating the defending national champions.
I mean, we could see that very well here. I mean, for me, though, you say that the Vikings have something to play for here. I think that so does the Fire Ants in this particular situation. Like you said, they're playing for back-to-back-to-back championships right here, something that we haven't seen done, really setting records out here. And you don't get to playing for back-to-back championships, rather winning back-to-back championships by coming out early in the season and playing flat. I think they want to come out here, set the tone for another great season, and I think they're going to be able to do that here against the Vikings today. But if you had to give me a straight score prediction, Shake, what do you got?
Hey, I got 3-2, Glen Oaks.
Taking the Viking. I mean, it's a good pick, but I gotta lean 3-2 the other way. I like that we're both thinking map 5 here. I mean, we might be a little overzealous for that. We might just be hoping for a really good series. But I mean, I think Glen Oaks has to come out here and really prove something in one of these first 2 maps, right? Either Fortress or that second S&D here coming on Mercado Las Almas. They've got to come out and really show Sumter something that they haven't seen before in the past 2 seasons. And I think it's going to be really hard for them to put something together. I also wouldn't be surprised if this is kind of a quick series for the side of the University of South Carolina Sumter.
Yeah, we'll have to see. That's the beauty of Call of Duty. Wow, that sounded awesome. Listen, it's just the beauty in the words. It's the beauty in the game. It's fun. We don't know what's going to happen. That's the beauty of it. That's why we play these maps, It could be a 3-0. It could go 5. There's a lot of things that happen in between there, too. It's just these maps are so mixy, it really could be anybody's series.
Yeah, and it really could be. And, I was taking a look at kind of our previous winners of this, in the spring 2023 season, it was the University of South Carolina Sumter as well in the fall season of 2022, and then heading back to spring 2023, we have Joabit Community College. In the fall of 2021, we had St. Clair College, and I know St. Clair, they're a really good team, Irvine Valley College. So we've had a lot of really, really good champions that have come through this league. And, now looking at the University of South Carolina Sumter, who has kind of put this run together, it's going to be very interesting to see if they can continue that dominance because, up until this point, it was different champions every single season. And now for Sumter to come out here 2 seasons in a row, build a championship season, heading into that 3rd year, it could be a little bit challenging for them.
Yeah, every championship makes the target on your back that much bigger. And that's a good thing because you're winning and you're showing how good you are. But, that means you don't get an off night, right? Everybody's giving you their best every single time because they know you are the defending champs. And nothing feels better than proving your worth against the best in the business.
Absolutely. And, for me, man, I think one thing that I'm a little nervous about USC Sumter is what if they do come out flat? When you win 2 championships in a row, sometimes it can be a little, a little bit challenging to get excited for that, for like the first or second match of the season, right? You know how long the season can be. You know how long playoffs are. You've been there and you've done it time and time again. They could come out a little bit flat here. And I do think the Vikings would have a chance to take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for here, for the Vikings to really come out and make a statement early in the year against such a good opponent. Because if they can do that, now everybody's looking at them a little different. And that feels different as a player. I've never played Call of Duty, competitively, but, we've all been in those situations where now you get that big win against that big opponent, feel a lot different. Practices and scrims seem easier, going through VOD seems easier. Everything seems easier. So if they can get that big dub tonight against a 2-time defending national champion, that's got to set you up for good success for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's a tone setter. I mean, and that's what we've been talking about all night. I think for both of these teams really is that this is a tone setter series, right? This could set the tone for the rest of your season. You take an early loss here to the really good team. I think for Glen Oaks, not so, I don't think it's that as important as this is for Sumter, because if you come out here as 2-time back-to-back champions and you end up losing to a team that you are not supposed to lose to, that can kind of put a dark cloud over the season for you. You know what I mean? It can be hard to recover from that. And on the other side, the Vikings, I think what is really important to them is they come out here and they make the series competitive. There can be moral victories as long as you can take away some good from this series playing against, your back-to-back national champion. And we'll have to see who really comes on top. Shake, personally, I think this series is going to be a grueler. And ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, we're going to go ahead and toss it to a quick break. So go grab your popcorn, get some water, make sure you stay hydrated out here. And when we come back, we will have map 1 on Albagra Fortress between USC Sumter and GOCC Vikings. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this NJCAAE Call of Duty match between the USC Sumter Fire Ants and the GOCC Vikings. I'm the Matt Man, and alongside me is Mr. Shake. And brother, let's get right into this one. Game one.
Getting nice and spicy with an Albagra Fortress. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up with these P2 control off of P1. We know P1 gets really, really mixy, so it's going to be interesting to see who comes away with some time here.
Yeah, and so far the Fire Ants doing a good job at holding it down. P1 so far in their control, as well as those P2 spawns. Ooh, the shot's a little mixy there from Reno, but he finds the second, finds the third, the fourth as well. Are you kidding me? This guy already on a 5 spree looking for the cruise missile as he takes 1, 2, 3, 4 to the grave. Fire Ants complete control of this hard point right now.
Yeah, no, that nade comes in to get him off the point finally, but yeah, great chunk of time there out of the Fire Ants of USC Sumter, getting us started nice and good. Now we're looking to this P2 point, and we got the Vikings with a good hold here, and let's see if they can get some points on this hill.
Yeah, last second spawn flip gave Vikings spawns for P2 and complete control, honestly, and right now in a really good position, but through the back comes USC. Will they be able to do anything? Not so far, but Reno and Whoop gonna take 2 out of the point. Still in control. Jay gets traded out, and now a contested point. Angelus, the only one left here, and Shaky is in a world of trouble here at the gallows.
Not a good spot to be. Yep, hang them up in the gallows. It's textbook right there. Fire Ants come through, get everybody dead they need. Now here comes another push from the Vikings, trying to get some kind of scrap.
Yeah, and they do have a little bit of a push going, but Reno and Whoop, again, that's 2 names we've been saying a lot of here early. Reno, 9-1 start for this kid. That is absolutely crazy. Whoop, 5-2, not a bad stat line either. But Jay taking out 2, immediately getting traded. But so far, the Fire Ants do have control here, but Nightmare Tiger and company going to try to push in from this left side.
Definitely not over yet. It's very early in this map. You know, they're just trying to get a control. As I say that, Ghostly picks up another and 2 dead. Vikings spread out all across the map. Now having to feed through mid. Not looking like they're going to get a lot of chunk of time on this hill. Fire Ants are locked up.
They are absolutely locked, cocked, ready to rock here. And now Nightmare Tiger with a good piece there, but now Whoop right back with a 2 in favor, hopping right on top of that statue, and this is going to be complete control. I say that as the Vikings, a little bit of a push here and do take Whoop out, but there's just too many players here. Ghostly cruise missile in pocket. He's running around playing his life, finally gets taken out, but so far, the Fire Ants are running rampant here on the fortress.
Yeah, I thought UAVs were GA'd because I could have sworn the Fire Ants know exactly where every single player is on the map right now. Their game sense is tuned up to 11. All that talk about rust and a championship hangover flying out the window. We are at 108 to 24 right now, and the Fire Ants are not slowing down anytime soon.
I mean, not at all. This game is so early. We're only on P4 of our first set of rotations, but the Fire Ants already crossing 120, and Ghostly and Whoop on the other side of the map. I mean, Reno's just camping, chilling, pitch him a tent, get him a campfire going because he's not even working right now. This man's on vacation holding this one down. Whoop is 16-4 right now, and it doesn't seem like anybody from Glen Oaks can do anything right now.
Whoop is absolutely on a tear, putting out a clinic in Albagra Fortress. Oh, finally gets taken down. But what a run by Whoop there, just dominating the entire map, putting the Vikings on the back step.
I mean, Jay has 14 kills. The rest of his team has 7 right now. I mean, his guy just needs some help. He's 14-12. He's having a good game, but no one else from GOCC can come up with a kill right now.
No, it's not coming to them easy.
Oh my God.
Not coming to them at all. Another 3-piece. Line them up in the feed. That's 4 dead. Oh my goodness. This one is getting out of hand early, Matt.
I mean, can we look at these stat lines? 14-7 from Ghostly, 20-6 from Whoop. 19-4 from Reno. I mean, these guys are running rampant on the map. It is 177-24 right now. This is disrespectful. Reno is on a 10 spree before he gets taken out right there.
Oh my God, the blender work. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. This is what you do. You get set up ahead of time. It really started when GOCC wasn't able to get that early rotation at P2 and just got locked out there. Since then, the Fire Ants have been on an absolute tear, not looking back, finally over that 200-point mark as we head into our second set of rotations.
I mean, P1 here, like you said, second set of rotations. It could end here, though, Shake. 2:07 and counting. Still 47 seconds left on the hill. Oh, my goodness. Ghostly right now, 17-7. Deddy popped as well. He's going to be working those P2 spawns, but I don't even think they're going to need him right here. Big Papa, 3-19. He's having trouble. This is not the stat line you want to see, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but 1-17 from Angelus right now.
Oh, taking souls and digging holes. The Fire Ants are putting the Vikings to bed in this map 1, and things have to change if you're the Vikings, or this series is going to get away from you real fast.
I mean, the Fire Ants are going ahead and telling them rest in peace, because map 1, 4 seconds from being over 2-1, and that is almost a flawless performance for the USC Sumter Fire Ants there on map 1, 250-24. That was just straight disrespectful what we just witnessed.
If you want to know how to dominate in hardpoint, you need to watch that map. The Fire Ants did not stop the entire time. The rotations were flawless. The gunnies were on point. Their setups, they got into those power possessions and they did not move. They were locked in. I think it was P1. I was watching Whoop sit outside of the stables there the entire P1, just looking to collect mid, looking for anybody that's coming out of top. It was such a good setup for them. They couldn't be touched. Now we got to see if they can bring something here in a search and destroy.
I mean, we were talking about a championship hangover. Like, it might be tough for these guys to get it started this early in the season. I mean, that needs to be put to bed right now. 250-24, absolutely asserting dominance there on map 1. The Fire Ants running rampant. I mean, it was just a flawless performance. And Shake, I don't mean to, discredit anything from anybody's team. We obviously both very talented teams here in the league, but I mean, Sumter right now, it seems like the gunny might just be on a different level for these guys.
No, it definitely is, and that's a big part of it, right? I was talking about the setups and the rotations, but the gunnies were on point. And now we did see some gun skill out of Glen Oaks as well, of course, but, it really seemed like the guns were hot. Maybe Glen Oaks just needed that map to get warmed up. I don't know. I hope they can regain the footing, and let's just chalk that up. That's one of those ones you just throw in the garbage. That's not us. We got to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, as GG's goes next for sure. And speaking of going next, we've got Mercado Las Almas Search and Destroy coming up. This is a very fast-paced map. The gunfights can come to you very, very early in the round. First blood's so important. For me, man, Glen Oaks has to assert themselves early on this map. They can't dig themselves in too big of a hole early because the Fire Ants are just looking to continue that dominance from map 1. They're going to continue coming at you with that ruthless aggression. And I mean, so far, man, this is tough, looking like it's going to make it out of that third LSELO.
Yeah, it's looking tough right now, but this is why we play the games. We've seen crazier stuff happen in Call of Duty. We've seen reverse sweeps. We've seen crazy comebacks. We've seen full sales. Anything is possible. You just can't let yourself mentally get out of it, because if that happens, you're chalking yourself from the get-go. So if they can regain mentally and put on a good performance, it's not over till that map 3. They got a lot of work to do, but it's not over.
Yeah, I mean, you're only down one map, and I think that is the good part for them. This is a very, very early on in the series. We're only heading into map 2 here. Like you said, you've got to put that map way, way deep in the back of the vault. We'll look at the VOD later, but right now we've got 4 more maps to play in your head, right? You've got to be prepared for a 5-map series, and you got to be able to come out here and push this one 5. But ladies and gentlemen, heading right in map 2. Shake, I know you were rolling with the Vikings early. What can they do here on this map 2?
That's the question. What can they do, right? They need to come out, show that they are able to win some rounds. It looks like we got some players bouncing. Let's see.
I was about to say, I think we might have to restart the lobby here for you guys. So, while we get the players set up for that, I mean, heading into this map too, I mean, this is make or break it time for GOCC, right? I mean, they have to come out here and perform at a very, very high level, or I think this series is over. You lose a hard point in that fashion, you go out and you lose the next S&D, you're not regaining in control. I mean, that is a very, very hard game mode to kind of regain yourself, rekindle that fire, because we know how control can be on this map. 1-4 dead on defense, and it's done. It's done and dusted. It's over in a flash instant. So for me, I think this is make or break it time for the Vikings.
It definitely is. If you get down 2-0 to a team that is a two-time defending national champion, they're not sleeping. The Gunnies are there. You got to get through this. You got to push through. You got to let search and destroy be a mixing mode and use that to your advantage. Slow yourself down and let them chow. Play some angles. Let them run out and try to get some easy kills. If you can get that first blood, the game becomes a lot easier from there. But yeah, if they lose this map too, it's hard to see them coming back. Like I said, happens. Reverse sweeps, they happen all the time. But I'll tell you what, the way Sumter's looking right now, that's going to be a bit of a far-fetched idea. But if you can get this map too and even it up at 1-1, it's basically a whole new best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole new series at that point, and you can easily kind of regain from that map 1. I mean, obviously, that was a dominant hardpoint performance, one of the most dominant we've seen in a long time, 250-24. But hey, I mean, they could bounce back here in this map too. And I think Mercado Las Almas is the perfect map to do it. Like you said, it can get mixy. I think I'd like to see them maybe switch it up and hit that B side a little more, kind of throw Sumter off a little bit of their game, kind of get them in a guessing game. What side are you going to play here? Don't just all file through that back alley and try to bully your way out on the A side every time. I want to see mix it up a little bit. Hit the B side, hit your rotates. If something doesn't look good early, let's wrap it around and see if we can't make something work on the other side. And for me, I think that's what the Vikings have got to do here. But I got to let you know, early on prediction, I'm taking Sumter in 6-2.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I honestly might go with 6-1. It's been looking like that. Is it possible that things can go differently? Yes. But what I saw in that map 1, that it's not even against the Vikings here. It's just the Fire Ants look so good. They look so put together. You can tell they won back-to-back national championships.
Yeah, I mean, you can easily see why, right? I mean, this team has gunny beyond belief. They played it to perfection. Every hard point, I think every hard point, they were there first, except for that P2. You have the weird split, like right at the end, they just happen to flip spawns. But what did they do? They just bully their way around the backside and easily take it. I mean, it's no problem for them. I mean, hard point, definitely looking in the back pocket of them. So I think make or break it time for the Vikings here. But, just seeing how that first hard point went and, having S&D, you get that reset every single round, right? It's 1st to 6, and I just don't see the Vikings being able to put 6 rounds against these guys in S&D.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard battle, and you're gonna have to work for it. You're gonna need to get those first bloods. You're gonna need to slow down, and you're gonna need to flex your noodle. You're going to need to use your brain, because you're not going to run at this Fire Ant team with your gun up and expect to win every gunfight. You're just not. You're going to have to outthink them. You're going to need to be in better positions. And on top of that, you need to hit your shots as well, because if you don't, these Fire Ants shoot back.
Not only do they shoot back, they shoot accurate. I mean, there were so many times in that map 1 where it just seemed like anybody that these guys saw on their screen was just getting melted right in an instant. Like they see a guy here, just boom, dead, boom, dead, boom, dead. I would have loved to hear the comms from them in that map 1, because I know they must have absolutely just been having, man. I mean, just when you're going 26-5, you got to be feeling good about yourself. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that are feeling bad at themselves after a 26-5.
No, you can't feel bad about that. You are walking around. He got up after that map 1. He was walking around like, "What's up, boys? How we doing? How we feeling? I'm 26-5." He was feeling like he was on main stage getting an interview, man. 26-5 and a hard point. That's impressive.
That absolutely is impressive. And I think we're still having a little bit of issues getting in the lobby, and me and Shake don't want to just start repeating ourselves for you. So we'll let you guys take a little break, get you a little snacks on the side, and don't forget to stay hydrated. And we'll be right back with some more junior college action. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the National Junior College Athletic Association Esports. We've got the Fire Ants taking on the Vikings right now. I'm the Matt Man. This is shaking. We're getting into it early, buddy.
You were talking about early nades, early pushes. Everybody's going everywhere on this map. Early kills, trading back and forth in the feed. We had nades coming through, and now all of a sudden, we're at a lull. We got a 1v1. I don't remember now who got the first blood, honestly, but we got a couple down. Now we got a man advantage for the Fire Ants, and over.
What just happened? Just for a second, it was a 3v3, and in the blink of an eye, 3 players go down. Reno just playing this little heady over here, takes out 2. I think it was Whoop on the other side of the map there that finds that 3rd player. But the Fire Ants, I was just about to say, man, I mean, the Vikings, I loved that early play. You come out, you make things mixy right off of the bat. I believe they did get that first blood. And all of a sudden, it just gets away from them. The Fire Ants find 3 quickly in a row. And it was Reno and Whoop that find both of those players. So an incredible start for the Fire Ants here, Shake.
Yeah, now you just got to try to figure out how to get another first blood and take a round. It's, we got a little corner play. First blood goes the way of Fire Ants. Another one drops across the map. That's 3 down for the Vikings. Things getting out of hand. Jay in a 1v4.
I mean, if this was the player that is in the 1v4, it's the guy I would hope for, but it's just too much to handle. The Fire Ants catching fire here in map 2. I mean, I'm pretty sure they caught it in map 1. I mean, Shake, this team showing you why they are back-to-back champions.
This fire burns even in the darkest days, Matt. This Fire Ants team is red hot right now. It's up to the Vikings to say enough is enough and grab a round and start asserting yourself. Get on the map and let's get around.
I mean, they've got to do something here because this series, not even just this map, this series is on the verge of getting out of hand quick. The Fire Ants saying, you want some, come get some, or else we're coming to you. 2 kills for Whoop right off the bat. Ghostly follows the 3rd. Angelus finds 1, but immediately gets traded. And USC Sumter absolutely asserting their dominance. This is getting out of hand quickly, Shake.
Out of hand in a hurry. I was trying to give this Viking squad a shot, but the Fire Ants did not want to. They are putting their foot down and saying, we want to go, okay? We're going to do our work and get out of here, okay? Listen, 3-0, hot start.
I mean, they're looking to take a half day in the office right here. 2-0, 5-0, 3-0, and Ghostly's 2-2. I mean, this team right now looking unbeatable. The Fire Ants, back-to-back national champions, looking to become back-to-back-to-back. But Jay, taking out Reno there, and finally the Vikings have life.
Yeah, we finally have a B push here, too. It looks like Whoop has it all but sniffed out, and now we're going to see the Fire Ants make their way over towards that A position. They know they're at B. The bomb is down. Jay, nice kill there. He's got 2 in the round, trying to see if they can finally get one away from the Fire Ants here.
And it would be a really big round for them to get here. Whoop and Mr. Adros, the only 2 left here. Whoop, a couple of shots in, not going to find anything. Both of these players kind of stuck in mid right now. Aims up, takes out Big Papa right out of the top window. That's a big, big kill for him. And look at Jay immediately repositioning back to that top window spot. And Whoop, though, on the defuse, not going to be able to get it. Now Mr. Adros, only 12 seconds left here, Shake, and the GOCC Vikings bind around here in our map 2.
There we go. They got around. That was really good out of them. They made the right play. They swung over because A was not working. They slowed down, played trades, didn't over-chow anything. They checked bomb when they needed to. Good round. Let's try to get another one on.
Yeah, and I mean, it all starts with 1, right? Yes, get that first round on the board and you build off of it, right? You finally got some good stuff. And I mean, Shake, like we were saying pre-match, they switched it up. They hit B, and it was something that the Fire Ants weren't expecting.
Yeah, no, exactly. Catch them off guard. What I say, use your noodle, use your brain. They did it that round, and they got the round win. And let's see if they can duplicate that here.
And a fast play for both of these teams, and it's Ghostly, Whoop, and Reno finding 3 off the bat. Ghostly follows up with the 4th, and I think that round might have lasted under 10 seconds. That was insanely fast.
The Fire Ant said, yeah, one's enough for you. We're done. Okay. It sounds like that 6-1 is sounding pretty good right now. The Fire Ants clicking on all cylinders. There's almost nothing the Vikings can do right now.
I mean, really, the Fire Ants, it seems like they don't matter who plays on the map. They are looking to dominate. They do not care what your name is. They are coming out here and they are looking to put on flawless performance after flawless performance. And right now, 4-1 up here on the verge of taking a 2-0 series lead. Looks like it's going to be a fast play down this back alley. The Vikings looking to hit it quick, but nades and stuns already stopping them in their tracks.
Yeah, we're down 4-1, but hey, why not? Let's go for a headbutt today. This should work out just fine. Vikings, I don't know what they're thinking here. Early kills. That's a nice two-piece. Oh, all three down over there at A. Jay is the only one left back alley. I don't know about that play call.
Also, we've got an MP7 out from Jay right here. I mean, I know it's got a little bit of buff in the past and immediately gets taken out there, but MP7 action, maybe switch it up, do something different. I mean, I think the Vikings are trying to throw out all the stops right here, but it is just not working. USC Sumter on a different level right now. And showing you why. I mean, we've said it time and time again. I mean, they're showing you why they're defending back-to-back champions.
Absolutely. They're hitting all their shots. They're getting to their spots. And it's crazy because they can be there and they do not miss. They are not losing these gunfights at all. So if you're Vikings, you need to play off angles. You need to slow down. Stop going exactly where the Fire Ants are expecting you to go. Because they're, for the most part, walking into pre-fires.
Yeah, and that's just not going to be successful. Like you said, when you have a little bit of a gunny disadvantage, you have to play sneaky. You have to play like a rat. And you have to start throwing Sumter off of their game. And this is not the way to do it. As the Fire Ants hit this B side, Jay will find one. Oh, you got to check your corners there, buddy. Reno teaching Tiger a lesson right there. Bomb planted at A in a 3-2 advantage. Make it a 3-1 advantage. But now Jay even things up 1v2.
Good shots there out of Jay. Really the only hope for his team at this point in the 1v2. But, like you said, if there's a guy you want in this situation, it's probably Jay. And that'll be the rounds. The Fire Ants take another one. 2v1, there's not too much you could do, especially when you got someone sitting up top balk there.
I was about to say, they don't only take the round shake. That's the map. 6-1. To the Sumter Fire Ants. And I mean, Shake, another flawless performance. You called it perfectly. 6-1. Whoop goes 10-2. Other notable, Reno 6-2, Ghostly 7-4, and Mr. Edros 3-1. I mean, it just seems like there is nothing that Glen Oaks can do right now. You see the score lines there, 250-24, 6-1. And I mean, Shake, I don't see the Fire Ants letting up anytime soon. I think they're going to really lock it down here and lock this series down 3-0.
Nah, the Fire Ants in comms right now are dapping each other up. They're laughing. They're talking about moments in the first two maps. They are feeling so good right now. They're on cruise control heading into LSC low, and they could not look any better. I mean, technically they could. They could have 250-0 and 6-0'd. So, there is stuff to clean up, I guess.
There's a little bit of room for improvement for our back-to-back champs, okay? We've got to hold them to a different standard, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, because realistically, Shake, these guys have looked unbeatable here tonight. I mean, 250-24 is insane, especially on a map that can get as mixy as Fortress. You know how the spawns can be so touchy. As soon as you think they're in front of you, they're behind you, but Sumter just does not care. They handle it with ease, and they also handle Mercado with ease as well, 6-1. I mean, besides, I think the only thing that threw them off was the little B hit that the Vikings threw at them, and they happened to get one round. But, I mean, other than that, Shake, I mean, there is nothing that Sumter is doing wrong.
No, absolutely not. It's been a clinical performance. I expect to see more out of them. Just showing why they're a two-time defending national champion. They're taking care of business. They have a game plan. They're sticking to it, and they're hitting their shots. I keep saying that, and I feel a little weird, but it's so true. I have not seen Gunny this consistent probably since I'm watching Challenger Cups.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, This is the junior college scene, so I mean, it'll be exciting to see if this Fire Ants team does anything in the challenger scene as well, maybe stepping up in competition a little bit, seeing what they can do, especially if they put on, you know, their third cap on back-to-back-to-back ships. It would be really, really improving for them maybe to dip into that challenger scene and really test where they are as a team, because right now they are running through teams right now, it seems like, already in the past 2 seasons, and Shake really starting out and setting the tone for what could be that 3rd straight championship in a row.
It's looking like it could be that. It's early in the year, and we always love doing the way too early predictions, right? But it seems like Fire Ants are looking at a run at a 3-peat here, and maybe a 3-0 in this control.
And maybe a 3-0 in the series as well. 3s all around for the Fire Ants here, as they already are putting pressure on this B site. And look, Jay is already having to back up. You see 3 players from the Fire Ants already hitting up to this B side. Big Papa looking around, not finding anybody right now. He has got to be lost. Gets shot in the back there from Mr. Atros. Now Jay gets taken off of that top balcony position. And you got to think the Fire Ants already looking like they're going to cap B early.
Yeah, you got the Vikings spawning on the complete other side of the map. I wouldn't be surprised to see them chalk it here with 2 ticks down at B. You already got Nightmare Tiger posted up at that radar tower at A. It seems like that's the play here. Bodies just keep falling. Down goes the B point. Vikings got to clutch up and stop something here before the round gets out of hand here.
I mean, the round might already be out of hand. Nightmare Tiger is the only, really good positional play that they have right here. Reno is 6-0 right now. They are flying around the map, and now Nightmare Tiger, the only one left to really be able to stop this push, and he's got a good advantage here, but the shots just aren't landing for him right now. He's got to go. He's got to do something. That 2nd tick already done and dusted. The 3rd on the way as well. They've only dropped 2 lives here, and that is the round. The USC Sumter Fire Ants. Absolute domination here in control.
6 ticks, hardly any resistance from the defending team. They were just running in front of their iron sights left and right. There was nothing the Vikings can do, and I feel like we keep saying that. But the Fire Ants are earning this reputation of dominance.
I mean, 7-0 from Reno there to start out that round. That's insane. I mean, this guy is on a different level tonight. I feel like we've been saying his name all night long. And, if this series does go the way that it's looking it'll go right now, I think he's definitely got to be in the talks for man of the match. But for the Vikings right here, trying to find any semblance of success. Jay taking out 1 there, but already 3 go down in the feed for the Fire Ants now. Only dropping a life and Shake. I mean, this is looking like they're playing pubs right now, man.
Ghosty's just running around, having fun, just trying to get some kills. When you get spawn traps in this LSELO control, there can be no more miserable event in Call of Duty. Getting stuck back in LSELO control is so awful. And then when you get a team... Then you get a team that has the gunny. That Whoop is showing right now. 1 away from a cruise missile. If I'm on the Vikings, there's the cruise. It's hard not to chalk it all.
I mean, it's 28-17. I mean, they're finding kills all over the map. Finally now hitting a point. I mean, they are just spawn trapping at its finest right now. I mean, this reminds me of those spawn traps of the past. I mean, if you get trapped on MW2 control, I remember that just being an absolute blender to get on. Reno has started this map out 10-0, Shake. I mean, he might get out of this without dying.
He needs to pay $5 for that 10-piece, man. I'll tell you what.
Oh my...
This is absolute domination by the Sumter Fire Ants. They are absolutely controlling every aspect of this map. And now we get Jay with a nice little 2-piece and giving the Vikings a breath of air.
And the good news is they are on offense. All it takes is, like we said, that 1-4 dead, and you can have a point done and dusted. And the Vikings showing a little bit of life, getting a minute back on the clock, and they have the A point secured. But now, having to find your way over to the B site, only 10 lives remaining. That just looks like it's going to be a little too hard to do. But Big Papa on a play here. Maybe finding Ghostly in the back, but just not able to. Ghostly playing ring around the Rosie. A little bit of a snake in a pocket full of posies, but not going to get it done. As the Fire Ants continue, though, on all sides of the map to continue this just assertion of dominance, Shake. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's 20-4 in lives. There are families watching right now.
Pocket full of posies, and the Vikings still caught the Black Plague. They are dropping left and right. There is nothing they can do to stop this Fire Ants team, and that is the round. Oh my goodness, 2-0 Fire Ants. Stop the madness, please. Vikings, you need to do something.
I mean, I think the only reason that we're having trouble getting these lobbies started is Call of Duty knows this series is going to be over just fast. I mean, this is a DoorDash challenge if I had ever seen one. I mean, the Fire Ants are absolutely running through the Vikings right now. 0-8 for Nightmare Tiger, 1-12 for Angelus, 3-12 for Big Papa. I mean, it's just Jay really being the only guy on this team able to shoot back, it seems like, Shake.
Jay's doing it all on his own right now, and you got to tip your cap to him. You know, it may
he's doing it.
Jay will do it all. He'll take the three-piece. 11-9 is huge for his squad right now. Just trying to do something. Jay is feeling himself. Flies up, throws his body away, and there's another 3 dead for the Fire Ants.
I mean, it's too easy, right? I mean, Jay's the only man that seems to be able to shoot his gun back right now. I mean, 5 kills combined from the rest of the Vikings, 11 for Jay. I mean, we got to get this man some help because right now they are dealing with forces beyond their control. Ghostly taking out one. Reno on the other side finds one. Jay, the man of the Vikings, not going to be able to do anything. Ants secure point B, now on to point A, and the spawn trap may commence here.
All the map control you could need. They are going to be pinned down in this deep back building outside of A. It's going to be really tough for Vikings to even sniff this point. They're going to need to make long routes. They're running out of time. The only good news is you're not down that bad on lives, so you got a little bit of wiggle room there, but there are 2 ticks on A, and there's still bodies on the point.
And there's bodies on the point right now. It's a little bit mixy, but they're just not coming out on top of these trades. The point is so close to being captured, and that might be the match. 3-0 in control and 3-0 in the series. The USC Sumter Fire Ants starting their season off just the way that they finished the last 2 in complete dominance.
Clinical textbook series out of them. If you're looking at the Fire Ants, there's not too much you could say that you didn't do right. You 3-0 a control, you 6-1 a S&D, and you 250-24 a hard point. There's not too much you could say coming out of that. Vikings, however, got a lot of stuff to look at in the VOD in order to improve for the rest of this season.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's really the only good takeaway for the Vikings tonight is at least you've got some stuff that you can look at and work on. I mean, this team that they're facing here is just absolutely on another level. And I mean, they've shown that over the past 2 seasons. We came into here, we knew that they were back-to-back champs. We thought maybe a little bit of rust, maybe a little bit of, you know, it's a little hard to get excited for some of these games where they know that they can be so dominant, but this team just loves to win. And I think that's what you saw tonight. There was no mercy from the Fire Ants tonight. 250-24, 6-1, 3-0, and a clean sweep in the series.
All gas, no brakes. They did not stop from the word go. They came out hot on that P1 Fortress, never looked back. They absolutely dominated. And the case for that three-peat started off real strong tonight with a 3-0. It's hard to argue that anybody can stop this team when they're at peak form, and this is only early season.
Yeah, I mean, this is just match 1 or match 2 for these teams, and to come out and look that good this early in the season, definitely something you got to tip your hat to. I mean, absolute dominance. I mean, there's a lot of words that we're trying to find for both of these teams, but I mean, it just seemed like Sumter was on another level tonight, leagues above the Vikings, really, in my opinion. And, you know, a lot of stuff for the Vikings to take back, like you said, of that VOD room, a lot of things that you can go back and you can point this out. You say, hey, we can work on this, we can work on that. I think for the Vikings, it might be beneficial to them, maybe seeing them play a team a little bit closer to their gunny skill level. I mean, I think that just was the thing. I mean, when you're seeing stat lines like 3-12, 1-7, 0-8 in control, you're just getting outgunned on the sticks. And that's what we saw today.
That's what it was. They were just outclassed, and you can work on gun skill. You just got to put in the time, and that's the thing. It's early in this year. You just got to hit it hard. Hit those bot lobbies, hit the firing range, do whatever you got to do. But if you're the Vikings, it's not a great start to your season, but it is early. There's a lot of time, and if you have the right mindset, can get better, and there's no reason you can't be competing in every single series, because we saw good setups, we saw good rotations out of the Vikings. It's just the gunny was too much for them to handle sometimes, and when the gunny started getting going out of Sumter, that's when things started to unravel for the Vikings, and that's when the gameplay got a little sloppy. When they were more composed, we saw good rotations and good setups. It's just maybe working on that gunny some more, but there's also always room for mental improvements.
Yeah, and that's what we're really going to see from the Vikings the rest of the season is how do they bounce back from this? How do they look in their games going forward? And really, how do they look kind of hitting that late stride towards playoffs? And I think that's what they really need to be concerned about is, the regular season might be a little mixy. We might drop a series here, drop a series there, but if we can put at least a good enough run to get us into that playoffs and really start hitting our stride late in the season, I think that could be really good for them. On the other side of the sticks, though, for Sumter, absolute class out of them. Continue to do what you've been doing season in, season out. That is the play that got them to being back-to-back champions, and it's the play that's going to get them to that three-peat and that 3 in a row.
Yeah, and that's what it's looking like it's going to be for them. I know it's early, way too early, but what else are we going to talk about? We just saw them put on an almost flawless 3-0, which is almost flawless in itself, but when you look at the map scores, it wasn't even close. No. So now you got to start to wonder who's going to be knocking on their door. Obviously, the target on their back is enormous. No, they're not catching anybody off guard at this point. No. Everybody knows who they are. They're circled every single time they play them. Now we got to see who wants to step up or who can step up against such a dominant roster.
Yeah, and I think moving forward, we're probably going to get to cast a lot more of the Sumter games. I think that's who all eyes are going to be on. Like you said, the target's on their back. You're 2-time defending national champions. Everybody wants to be the team to beat you. And they're going to have to deal with a lot of that this year. But seeing as how they've dealt with it pretty well in the past and dealt with it flawlessly tonight, I think they're going to be in for another really good year. But guys, from me and Shake in the booth, that's going to be all we have tonight. Make sure you catch us next time with some more Junior College Athletic Association esports action. Got the mouthful there, man, and we got it done. But hey, what a good map set tonight. What a good series. What a good series for the Fire Ants, really. Something to hang your hat on for the rest of the year, and definitely a team we are going to be looking at moving forward. But for me and the Shake in the booth, that is all we've got tonight, and you guys have a great one.
See you later.